Hello everybody, welcome to the Wise Man's Grandchild episode. Are we on 6 or 7? Whichever one we're on. 6. I'm gonna say 6. Anime review. This episode was kind of weird. It was split into two parts. You had the war stuff and what's going on with the villains. And then you had like the protagonists kind of goofing off in a way. It was it was battle school harem. They had some shenanigans. Oh, it's not a harem, it's just a battle school. Damn, we almost reached peach genericity. Is that a word? I don't know if that's a word, but it's gonna be a word now. Yeah. So the episode begins with the Empire, who have to retreat from their battle they're facing with the Kingdom. See, it took me a while to figure this out. The Empire are the bad guys, the Kingdom are the good guys. We find out Zest was who he was talking to, was the Emperor, and he basically, I guess, was the one that tricked them into going to fight. But the Empire, the capital city's been attacked by demons. They got to retreat, which they do, but then the king tries to follow them but gets blocked off by demons. There's a lot to remember. We find out who wrecked the Empire. It's Strom and Miria, who is also a demonoid now. Miria was the woman who was with him last episode. Yeah. I'm finding the war stuff and the villain point of view, I'm finding it a little bit more interesting than what the main characters have got going on, because that's just battle school. I've seen that before. War stuff, that's kind of interesting. Like, obviously he's going to come solve it. I like it. It's not a problem. I'm liking this show more than I should, considering how much I absolutely hated it at first. But now it's alright, you know? It's alright. But then we go back to the Emperor, gets back to the Empire Castle, and basically Strom kills him. He's like, I had to make sure I was going to kill you. So I don't know what he did to him, but he knew who he was and everything. His first name's Oliver, or Olive, I think it was Oliver. Ollie Strom, your boy. Yeah, he kills him, and then explains to the Kingdom Army who appear. He's like, yeah, the war was my idea, we wrecked this place, look at my new demon army I've made. So not the punchline, the payoff is going to be, we've got the demon army, demonoid army, whatever you want to call it, against the Kingdom Army, led by Shin, who's going to one-shot everything, because he's really, really good. Yeah. Nice to know some. Then they go and inform the king of this, and they're like, but yeah, good to know we've got the villainous. We've got the Empire taken out of the equation. Like they're gone. Everyone's dead because Strom killed them, and it's like, okay, he's the villain. It's really weird to me that they've got like this super violent, dark stuff going on with the villains. Like they just killed a whole country, and then you got again battle school. You go back to the school, and they're like, well, the other school's bullying us because we're not strong. Ugh. It's like, can you pick one? I mean, I prefer the darker tone, especially with the bright visuals. It's weird. I love it. It's weird. I love it. That's exactly how I feel about this show. Then we go back to the castle. I was going to say the school, where the students are all told, hey, Strom wiped out the Empire. Be careful on that. Be careful on your way home from school. Don't stay late. Walk in pairs and everything else they do that a lot. Yeah, and then from that, they're like, yeah, joint training exercise with the night school. And then all the magicians are like, oh man, that sucks, because they call us bean sprouts. I'm like, was it bean sprouts? It might not have been bean sprouts. It might have been something else. Oh god, I don't know. I think it was sprouts. I think I added the bean, and I'm like, okay, is it banter, or is it you guys getting bullied? Like, that's what we got to talk about here. But from the gist of it, it's just some sort of inter-school rivalry. It's nothing actually super malicious. Yeah, fine. Like, the inter-school thing makes sense, though. Let's do a partnership to boost the effectiveness of them working together. I get that. The school rivalry thing, I was like, okay, fine. Their reasoning wasn't as good. They were like, they call us sprouts. I would have been like, oh, they should have just explained, like, hey, the knights look down on us because we are physically weak or something. They do explain that, but then they're like, they call us sprouts. I'm like, it's not even funny. Like, couldn't have been a funnier word. Come on, guys. We get the mission essentially is take out demons in groups of 8, 4 from the magic school, 4 from the night school. We get our group. They're glaring at each other. In the thing, Shin's like, hey, if you're gonna let this whole rivalry thing get in the way, you will die from the demons. Which is like, fair enough, but the knights don't listen. And then Aogi's like, okay, well, you guys can have fun on your own at first then. essentially going to prove a point. They're going to be like, we're going to prove you need us, so let's do it. And I'm like, that's a good job, Alg, or Org. I call him Alg because it sounds better, I think, than Org. Alg, Org, I say Alg, so if people are going to hate that, I know they are, but I'm sorry. I don't say his name that often, so it's fine. But I'm going to say it extra often, just for the people it annoys now. That's definitely what I'm going to do. Yeah, the thing with the Knights, the ultimatum, basically, here's what we're going to do. It's good because it basically then that's going to destroy the Knights' confidence, and then they're going to actually form a cohesive unit for the big old war. That's another thing I hope. I hope they have the students working together from both schools in like the fight against the demons that I assume's coming. And then they have like the professionals, you know, the grown-ups fighting amongst themselves because they haven't had the joint getting along session. Unless they do and it's just like a school thing only, in which case my plan doesn't really work. But I hope they do that. That would be entertaining, I think. Up next to the advisors, it's his bro/sis, whose names I didn't write down. And basically they're pretty big deals at the school. They're like the senpais, who are like the desirable senpais or whatever. So they get mobbed, and Shin's like, huh, that's weird. They're just my friends. Also missed that earlier, his sword instructor is also a big deal, because of course he is, everyone's a big deal. What else happens? Basically then we get a little bit with Maria, who is basically like, yeah, I know I'm crap, I know I need help. Which I was like, oh, character development, you're going to not be crap soon. And then the guy, I think was the magic school like assistant or whatever, was like, you'll do better. He got right in her face, and this was a lot of the girls getting embarrassed and the guys getting jealous was of this like current section, or there was a lot of jealousy going around. It's particularly later on, but I'll get there. But then the demon, it's like a boar, attacks them. The Knights have a go at fighting it. They don't last very long. Shin then saves it in one hit, and because he's OP. And then Cicely heals the Knights, and they all start getting infatuated with her. And then we have Shin being all angry at the side, with Aoka like, it's okay, which is definitely the thumbnail. I've already made it, so I know it is, unless I decide to change it, but I like it how it is. Don't argue with me. Yeah. Them getting infatuated with Cicely makes sense. Also, they were looking down her shirt. The school thing to do. Don't tell me you didn't do it. I don't know if I ever had enough. Let's move on. Yeah, like it. Like the little bit of comedy they've set up. Like, it's not a big deal, but it's a nice little thing to round out the episode. Fine. The Knights, you know, they know that they need help now. They're going to participate like normal people. Came back around. Loved it. A bunch of demons show up next. There's like hundreds of them. And instead of them all fighting, Shin's like, I'm going to deal with this. I'm angry because these dudes are flirting with my Cicely. Which, you know, it was good. And then the interesting thing I found about this, when he was making his magic, he was like oxygen, hydrogen. I'm like, oh, is that because he remembers Earth stuff? Because I doubt that in the Magic Land they refer to it as oxygen and hydrogen. So I'm like, is that why he's really good? Is he making a hydrogen bomb in his hands? Is that what he's doing? Like, I feel like that might be what he's doing, and that's a good explanation. Because he clearly doesn't remember everything from Earth, because otherwise he'd remember being an old man, or an older man. So like, I like it. It still doesn't really need to be an isekai. I'm not going to say it does, but I like that they're kind of working it into his spells and that's why he's OP, is because he has greater knowledge and understanding because of these Earth memories. I think that's interesting, personally, but a lot of people only like seeing fight scenes these days, so explanations are, you know, people don't like them, but that's fine. But yeah, he wipes him out. Then what happens next? Then him and Cicely get like all blushy and embarrassed because one of them calls them a couple. Yeah, nice ending. And they're like, no, we're not a couple yet. Is that going to happen? It's not going to happen, is it? They're going to drag that out forever in the manga, even though it should be happening. It should have already happened. Like, they're gone for the instant love. Go all the way, damn it. Have them tell each other. I'm sick of this. Just have them tell each other so I can deal with it. Like, as long as they're not together, I might think one of them's going to die or something. That's not going to happen. Not in this show. But anyway, yeah. This was an alright episode of this show. It's not the greatest isekai ever. People who say it's really... I read a thing, it was like, this is the most watched new show this season. And I'm like, alright, fair play. But isekai is as popular as ever, but it's not the best. It's nowhere near the best. It's honestly not even that good. It's enjoyable enough, but yeah, it was a bit of a shocking revelation to me. I was like, this? But it does make sense because there's about like 4 isekais next season, or 5. There's a lot of them. I should probably do them all just because people love isekais and sick views and that. But I don't know if I could cope with that because that's a lot of isekai to watch. Anyway, let me know what you thought about this episode and maybe isekai in general. We'll add a little extra thing. And I will see you next week. Bye, guys.